Good morning there. My name is Rogério, and today I was watching. Today's Sunday, the 12th of February, I think. Well, I was watching a film by Steven Van Camp Lewis, and he likes a lot of typical species of Cattleyas in particular, but he was talking about Cattleya purpurata, and the problem that he had, that it dehydrated, his purpurata dehydrated, the back boobs were very weak. He repotted and it recovered. And I have been been thinking about doing a small short film about this plant that I have. It's a Cattleya labiata Roxo Bispo. So it's a Cattleya from the north of the country. It likes a lot of heat. I don't have much heat here. Today it's sunny, but most of January was a disaster. It was very, very wet and not very sunny, not very hot, which is a pity because it's the beginning of summer. And well, let's talk about it. Labiata is called like this because originally, at the time, over a century ago, labiata has a very large labellum, so it's called labiata. Roxo Bispo refers to the color. It's a little bit pinkish. I don't know if you can see that it's a little bit pinkish here, right? And the center of the labellum here, it should be a stronger purple, I think, but the purple referred to the clothes from Catholic bishops. Anyhow, I was talking about Stephen's purpurata, and I'm going to talk about this plant here. I bought from I like the grower, the seller. He grows and he has loads of plants there, usually species or primary hybrids, which I like. But what happened is that I bought this plant, and as you can see, this bulb here is the tallest one. And now it's the oldest one here. Then we have the second, which is less than half of the size of that one. And then we have the third one with the blooms, which is almost as big as the oldest bulb now. And what happened is that I bought the plant. It was a cut, so it had 3 bulbs. I planted in my favorite kind of planting, potting for this kind of plants, which it's a small pot, has got loads of holes on the side for drainage and airing, and has got stones, some polystyrene to make it lighter, because I hang the plants. I like to hang them to have them as natural as possible. And I coupled it. Can you see a little root there? Oops. I coupled it to a piece of trunk, and I tied the Cattleya to the trunk, and then I coupled the trunk to the vase. And then I had to tie it here carefully so that it stood up. It doesn't fall. It has been a little bit off balance now because of the weight of the flowers and the new bulbs. But what happens is that I bought the plant, did all the potting, and a week later the oldest bulb then started dying off. It died off. Then I cut it as soon as it was about this much rot. I cut it, and a week later, so 2 weeks after I received the plant, the second bulb also starts showing signs of it's podridão negra in Portuguese, which is rot from the base. It's not from the leaves or the bulbs, and start rotting. So I had to cut it again, and I ended up with just 1 bulb. This is 2 years ago, and as you can see, it has fully recovered. And I hope that the next bulbs, next blooms, will be much better than this one. But it's just to show that I don't like to give up. I have more than once potted 1 bulb that sometimes it just breaks from a plant, And if it has got an eye, I'm gonna show you about my feeding. But if you've got an eye for in the bulb so that it can develop a new bulb, I think it's worth trying. And I was very lucky actually. This plant here, let me just show you what happens here. There, oh, I cannot see, but there's a little ball there, which is the snail poison. I also use Osmocot, which is slow release. Hello, it's there. So that's the green one is Osmocot, and the white one is the snail poison. But here I have this powder here. This is an organic orchid fertilizer. It's called Bokashi, and it has got all the rhizomes, has got natural fungi that helps the roots to absorb completely the nutrients from the soil. This plant stays in the rain, has been 2 years under the rain. As I said, my climate is not perfect for that plant, but I tried to. I think there's a lot of roots here. I don't know if you can see, but here you have a root here which is dried, but it's around here. There's another root here. I think it is going well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be flowering, and the bulbs are very healthy. Everything looks very healthy. Let me just show you some of the plants which are here. This is the veranda area. It is east facing, and sometimes it's very windy. I've been lucky this year, and it hasn't been. This is Dendrobium kingianum. I can't make them flower here. I don't know why. Maybe because it's too cold. Maybe, I'm not sure. This is a hybrid. I'm sure it is well, I know what it is actually, because this one has got a tag, and it says here it's a tenebrosa, a Lelia tenebrosa, which is now Cattleya tenebrosa, with a Cattleya bicolor versus a hybrid called Chunia. And it was really beautiful before. Now it's already fading. It's very, very, very veiny, both the petal sepals and the labellum. That's got a little Gionea there. It's doing very well. Cattleya tigrina. It's a little bit late, this one. Tigrina alba. This is a hybrid. I bought it as a Cattleya violacea. It was very, 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 very cheap, but it's not what it should be. That's what happens when you buy from general people who are not very. They don't sell just one kind of plant. They sell anything they can get hold of. This is another hybrid. I like it a lot. It's a nobiler versus a Amethystogloss. It's an artificial hybrid. Can you see that? It's an artificial hybrid. It's not natural, but it's got a very beautiful pink color, nice labellum, and it's got some veins and spots. It's also fading. Here we have a wasp, and the wasp wants to. Can you see it? I think it's out of focus. Let's go further back. This is BV orchids, and it is an osculatum versus Susan Fox. All the catasetum with bloom spikes are now here. They get rain. I don't know if you can see here on this plant. It's full of raindrops on the bulbs, on the buds. And it's a semi-hydropony. And it's got loads of healthy roots. I don't know if you can see here. Some polystyrene again. And there's another one here. Another one. Cannot see. Cannot wait for them to bloom. This one is a very special plant. Is a Cattleya labiata Schuller. It's a full red, full rubra Cattleya labiata. It seems to be doing well here. This is this catasetum is open. It's pretty. I got it from an offer from Chácara Bela Vista Orchids or BV Orchids. It's fantastic. It was a very good price. Cattleya bicolor here that I bought already with the buds, with the sheaths coming. Oh, this coming from the sheath here, but unfortunately it was too much. Two blooms in one young plant was too much, but I haven't lost. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I haven't lost the one bud, and I'm dying to find out the color. It's a green color apparently. This is a species, but I was very lucky. It's already fading as well, a little bit, but it's Catasetum saccatum. Come on, baby. Catasetum saccatum, and the good thing about it is that it's a viridi color. Viridi is the definition of a flower when it is green. Encyclia jungle orchid. It's a hybrid. I guess it's an American hybrid. Here we have a native hybrid, which is move that a little bit closer to me. So it's a native hybrid. It's between Cattleya intermedia. Can you see better? Cattleya intermedia and Cattleya amethystoglossa. Amethystoglossa here flowers in September. We are at the beginning of January. Don't know if I told you about this plant. It's another reason why I don't think you should give up on your plants. Let me move it. I think I have already showed in another. Just a leaf just fell off, but this plant had other shoots here, and I should have a lot of blooms. But unfortunately, I took it out at the beginning of January and let it take rain unprotected, because it's a very good fertilizer. Rainwater, it's a very good fertilizer. Some clove here. Let's remove this. It's a plague here, grows everywhere. And as you can see, I got very down for at least 2 days, because it suffered with a rainstorm. It was near a wall. It is 2 floors high. There's no window, and I guess what happened is that all the stones that hit that wall, fell down and hit the plant. But what I did, it's my usual substract. It's in a clay pot, and what I did is that I took it under a shade, separated it, didn't water the leaves at all. This is a sunburn. It was there before. Sunburn here as well. I don't worry much about that. But I was watering just the substrate, so that I didn't give fungi any chances. Oh, look, it's better here. It's fading as well already. Cattleya velutina. It's got 2 blooms, one with 3 flowers and the other one with 1 flower. It's really, really nice. We are on Instagram, in case you don't know. It's the same thing, Native Orchids Brazil. And I had one in the greenhouse with 7 buds in a sheath, and it fell off. It was very high up. It fell off because it was tied to a mount, and it broke, and I lost all the blooms. But next year is going to be better. This is a hybrid between Brassia and the yellow. Could be Adda from Central America, but Brassia and Adda are very different. The result is very different. It doesn't have all these spots. Maybe it's a different kind of Brassia they use. A Brassada, which is the original plant, doesn't have the spots. Maybe they use the different plant. Here I have, it's already faded, a Pileatum imperialis Pierre Coure. This is my zigo. Can you see here? One flower is gone, the other one is already gone. This is one of the zygos. Ooh! Finally it opened! Look at this bush. Look at this. I feel I have so many different plants with different requirements for growing, heat and lighting and watering, that sometimes I get very happy when all of them work all right. And this is another zigo. So I have this zigo, that zigo, and I have got this zigo, and I've got this zigo. So I have got two zigos of the same ones. They're exactly the same ones, and I didn't know that. I just go shopping and I say, oh, I like that zigo, and wonder if I have. But there are about 2,000 flowers, orchids around. Not all of them adults, most of them are seedlings. I absolutely love this hybrid. This is also a hybrid with Tenebrosa, and the tag faded. I don't know what is the other hybrid. I don't think it is purpurata. There's a natural hybrid called Cattleya pecavensis, which is a hybrid between purpurata and tenebrosa, but this has got tenebrosa definitely, but it's got some spots on the petals and sepals, which you shouldn't have with that kind of hybrid. It's veiny. The labellum is out of this world, and I'm very, very happy. I'm gonna try to find out who I bought it from and see if I can discover what is the hybrid. This is my false. This is Big Lips Fall. This is a tiny. There's most of them have got names. I don't have the names for all of them. There's look at this. There's an oncidium here, which is mounted. I need to water that. It needs watering urgently. It's mounted in a very with loads of holes, slots around the pot, and it's got a long spike and loads of buds. But I can't grow falls here because of the cold. Comes winter, they all get they suffer a lot. And this one is a cut from a plant. I'm waiting for the eye to come up. I don't know when it's going to happen. My Lelia, Cattleya, now Shantina. I bought it from a guy in Espírito Santo. And what happens, it's called Thomas. What happens is that I received the plant and I put it on the pot. My usual mixture of stones and some bark and probably polystyrene here because so it doesn't get very, very heavy. And we had a bloom here this year, and it came out almost alba example. And I called the seller, and I sent a zap, and I asked him, what do you think this is? And he couldn't believe it was an alba. But in fact, it was not an alba because it had a little dot of about 1.5 millimeters long in the labellum. So technically it's not an alba, it's a semi-alba. But here we have another one. And I reckon, I asked him why, I wrote to him and I asked him, is it possible to have one kind of flowering in one bulb, side or bulb, and then another variation in another bulb? It does happen from year to year. From year to year, it can happen. Sometimes it happens the same plant. But I reckon, because I didn't separate it, I don't tend to separate, I reckon there's two plants here. Simply because this bloom is here. Can you see this? These two bulbs is from one plant. And this plant here, this flower, these blossoms, they are in a bulb right at the back. So it doesn't make sense. It's too distant, and it's an old bulb. So I reckon it's two plants here. And here we have a little bit more plants. That's elata, Peristeia elata. That is what is it again? A Calante vestita, and the Calante came with the broken bulbs, and I just put it here, and it's shooting back. This one is still full, still healthy, but no sign of shooting. unfortunately. Let's see if I can grow that. Some sedum plants here. More zicus. Selugini ovalis that I bought Thursday, 4 days ago. This is another plant which is fading as well. It's called Sogodol Little Angel. It's not my favorite. I like plainer, more natural plants, and my Paphiopedium are here. I decided to bring it here to keep it warmer. And here we have a Toshiaok. It's a very large flower, very lots of substance, which means that it's almost leathery. And well, I hope you like here what I'm talking about, and all the best. Thank you. Bye bye.